Hi everybody, welcome back to Astrology and this week's Snapshot of the Sky. We've got some good energy this week. I hope you are going to take advantage of it because next week is not so great. So we need to use this positive energy that's happening this week. Let's start with the most fun thing. Venus and Jupiter will be sextile to each other this week. And that means, really simply, be kind to people. Be generous. Give something. And you will find that when you share and open your heart to the point where you feel that you can give without expecting anything in return, you'll find that energy coming back to you. So it's a great time for you to go out and give something to someone and create an energy flow, create a flow of love, a flow of caring. And I would recommend really that we do this across the board, not just with the people that we know and care about. Let's just use this time, this great energy that's in the air, to share. I mean, it's really that simple. However, for those of you who are interested in the romantic aspect of it, Thursday and Friday would be great nights for date night. So if you have someone that you want to date, it's a great night. And if you're thinking about dating, and you'd like to have good energy for that, Thursday and Friday are great, like for meeting people and for finding connection with people and opening doors with people. So it's really a good time this week for relationships. If you need to mend something, if you need to heal something, this is a great week to create the pathways for that. So reach out, make sure that you let people know your intentions and make sure that you are receptive to their intentions. It's really, really a nice energy when Venus and Jupiter are together. And also, if you want to initiate some sort of project to increase your finances, it's a good time for that as well. I wanted to start with that because it's such a light, encouraging energy, and we need all of that. And so I want you to take advantage of that in any way possible. Go out and give something and see how that creates a flow in your life. Also, we have Venus and Mars are still sextile each other. We talked about that last week. So today would be a good time. Today particularly because it's passing today, but we talked about Venus and Mars last week. It's still, that energy is still in the air. So if you are in a relationship, it's a great time to find that you are listening to the needs of your partner and that you're expressing what your needs are. And there should be a nice exchange between you. The sun is following closely behind Mars this week. So if you have any desire to go out and be active, it's a great time for getting in shape, doing things that allow you to assert yourself. And if you have to say something to someone, it's a good time for saying it with confidence and without being too forceful, because Mars, as we know, can sometimes be a little bit, Mars is Mars. Mars is about aggression and pushing forward and being strongly, I'm trying to find positive words for Mars. Mars is known as a malefic, right? So we have to be careful with Mars because there's always the tendency to let our ego get involved or to be too concerned with our own position. And I have found it to be true that oftentimes on Mars days, especially the challenging aspects, Mars will be a lot to contend with. In this case, we're good because Sun and Mars are an easy aspect. So as I said, it's a good time to go out and just be clear and to assert the things that matter to you without being offensive. It's a great time to stand up and say, hey, this is my thought, this is my opinion, this is where I stand on this. The one challenging aspect this week is Mars squaring Neptune. Transiting Mars in Gemini is squaring Neptune. So we have to be really careful that we're honest this week. And we have to be careful that the things that we are going after have a purpose that's bigger than ourselves. If you're not honest, and if your purpose is purely selfish for anything you're doing this week, it's not going to work out. So I caution you, I strongly caution you to not try to get away with anything that you know is not right. Like, not even small white lies, as they call them, as it's said. Just focus on your integrity. And if there are some things that get frustrated, some things that you reach out to do, some things that you want to happen and they don't happen, it's okay. It's temporary. It's a temporary reassessment, so that you can understand that there's more at stake than you realized. So it's good. It's not a bad thing to have to pull back and reassess and reevaluate so that you can make a more informed choices, right? Don't let the need to prove anything or the need to show yourself in a certain light make you cut corners. Do not cut corners this week. It won't work out to your advantage. It's better to have a little frustration and to accept it as a part of the cycle of things, because sometimes things don't work. Sometimes we make choices that don't always result in the things that we want. And it's better to accept that than to say, hey, but if I just do this, I could get around that problem and no one will know and no one will see. Yes, they will. Okay. So, integrity, no, as I said, no cutting corners, and not even any small things that aren't on the up and up. Don't do those things this week. If you can heed that, and if you can accept that some things will be frustrating, just because Mars and Neptune clashing, it's just what it is. Some of the things that we attempt to do, especially if they're ego-driven, especially if they're coming from a need to prove anything, they're going to be frustrated. So it's okay. It's temporary. It won't last long. And if you are focusing on Venus and Jupiter about the energy of sharing and the energy of expanding and giving, then it'll make all of the other energies of Mars and Neptune seem small, which they are in the long term, in the big picture. So, got a lot of positive energy this week, a lot of energy to get things done, a lot of energy for good relationships, a lot of energy for sharing. So go out and make the best of this week. And we look forward to talking to you next week for next week's Snapshot of the Sky, where there will be a few more challenging things that we'll have to deal with. So make the most of this week. And of course, if you need a reading, you can reach us at Astrology on YouTube, on Instagram, and our website is astrologicastrology.com. Thank you. As always, we wish you love and peace. And we say namaste. The spirit in me recognizes and honors the spirit in you.